Yeah, I've got to make a video. Yeah, I know. I know you're tired. And it's raining. And we're both wet. I know. And it's Sunday, isn't it? It's a lazy Sunday. Yeah. You just look depressed. What do people think, eh? You know, you see some of those other dogs on BookTube. You are camera shy, aren't you? You just don't like it when it's put on you. No. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and welcome back if you're joining us again, and welcome to you if you're joining us for the first time. And welcome to another edition of my week on BookTube. We had a small hiatus last week because basically last week didn't happen. Obviously, those of you who created a load of good content last week might be a bit miffed of me saying that, but you know, I wasn't really in the mood last week, and I think a lot of people probably felt the same, but that's that, and that's done. And just a quick note about Elvis, why he's probably looking so depressed. Well, one, it's raining. We're both wet, although I did towel him off, but he doesn't dry too much. He's funny, I towel him off and then he shakes still water everywhere. I have to try and avoid him doing it in front of the books, which he's prone to do because he comes running in here. But he's upset because I've closed the door to the bedroom. One of his big things when he comes back from a walk is he likes to jump on the bed, dig it up, roll around in it, which, normally I don't mind when it's dry. But, I've just washed the bedding the other day. It's quite new on there. It's clean. It doesn't remain clean very long with Elvis, of course, but, I didn't want a wet dog rolling all over it, so he was protesting by lying down there on the floor. We've got a lot of nice things for you this week. My own personal highlights, of course. I haven't seen a huge amount, actually, this week compared to normal weeks. I've been quite busy doing other things, reading, for one, actually, because I've got a few things to do. I'll also mention a few changes that will come up with this channel. I might as well do that now quickly. I'm going to be starting back at work soon, so I'm going to have to make a couple of changes, I think, because I'm not going to be able to sustain the output I've been doing over the course of the summer. Or I will at least try to. But I will move some things away. Some things I think have proved not to be particularly popular. For example, Short Story Saturday, which is one of my favourite things, isn't at all popular. Almost nobody watches it. I'm very grateful to those of you who do, but I quite understand not everybody wants to sit and listen to me read a short story for 10-15 minutes. But I'm going to move that over to the podcast, which I'm going to put out in conjunction with my kind of newsletter, or it's kind of more like an online public domain anthology or something like that than an actual newsletter, but Substack insists on calling it a newsletter, so that's what I've called it, and they allow you the opportunity to host podcasts there, and I thought, well, Short Story Saturday is something made for that, so I'm going to move it from YouTube and put it there. So if you're at all bothered, then please just go over to Substack and listen to it if you want to. Otherwise, as I say, I'm not sure it's going to be something that's greatly missed from this channel. So that's one thing. I'll keep doing my week on BookTube as much as I can, and then something else might go as well, because, as I said, it's not particularly easy to put up something every single day. I might take a hiatus on Beyond the Book. I find it really interesting, but I think I will only do it when I'm doing specific reading events with those books that I know people are reading with me, and therefore might have more of an interest in watching that. So that might also go, but we'll see. I think, Anyway, I've rabbited on long enough. You're probably waiting to see what these highlights are. I'm going to start with wonderful thing that Dave and Olive from Book Blather put out. When was it? Friday, I think. The Kindness Trumps Drama, the BookTube Kindness Shoutout tag, where after all the events from the last few days, Dave and Olive decided to put out and do something positive, where they shout out different people, either booktubers, big and small, commenters, subscribers, that kind of thing, in a positive light for the nice things they've said, the nice things they do, and whatnot. And that was followed up yesterday by Gareth from Book Songs and Other Magic, who did a lovely version of that as well. I'm not just saying that because he mentions me, but I am of course very grateful for that as well. And he mentions this, my week on BookTube, as a positive thing, as I point out things that I enjoyed and I hope you will enjoy too. And of course we're talking about the week being from the 14th to the 20th of August 2022. Okay, now I've mentioned those two wonderful booktubers and the wonderful tag that Dave and Olive put out. I'm going to continue now with a nice surprise. Someone I haven't seen on BookTube for a while made a quick appearance in a quick horror book haul, and that's Nadine from Tome Raider. And it's great to see Nadine. She's had a lot of changes in her life, which seem to, of course, be positive. And by the most part, of course, I think sadly she lost her dogs, and but she did end up with some happy family news, which I won't spoil because you should go over and watch it. Nadine's really lovely, and it's really great to see a video from her for the first time in a while. Next up, we have Bill Rutenberg from the Rutenberg Library, and a video he put out with his daughter, Crimson, his eldest daughter, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's really nice to see, obviously, the dynamic between father and daughter, and the fact they're sharing something like reading a book together and then discussing it. The book perhaps is controversial for some people. It is Gone with the Wind. It's a book chat on Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. But regardless what you think of it, the book, you should still check out Bill and Crimson's wonderful video and watch that kind of dynamic between father and daughter. Next up, we have Micah Cummins. He's a young booktuber, fairly new, but he's doing really well. He released quite a few videos this week, actually, but the one that was a particular highlight to me was his Non Fiction TBR, where he chose 4 non-fiction books that he wants to get to as soon as possible. I believe he did one also on classics as well, which is also well worth checking out. And once again, all the links for the books I mention are down below. Next up, we have an offering from Amy, Amy's Dusty Shelf. And it was wonderful. It was her Friday reads from Friday just gone, and it looked at America Day by Simone de Beauvoir, and it was fascinating. And she also discussed a book called Friendship in Letters, which is the correspondence between Robert Louis Stevenson and J.M. Barrie. And I know a BookTube video is good when it makes me spend money, because I had to, of course, acquire that book as well, which wasn't easy. It is quite easy probably if you live in America or in the UK, but when I tried Amazon Germany and I tried a bookshop here, they're out of it. So I was able to go to Book Depository and order it, which of course will take some time, but it should be here at some point this year. Of course, there are other online shops available, so there's no affiliation at all, of course. But yeah, no, Amy's wonderful, and you should definitely check out that Friday Reads edition because it's a fascinating couple of books that she discusses there, both of which, as I say, I want to read, although Simone de Beauvoir's America Day by Day was more difficult for me to get hold of, and I haven't yet. So there we go. Next up, we have an offering from Book Time with Ryan, My Favorite Things tag. I'm not going to say anything really about it, other than you should go and watch it. Ryan is, I really like his channel, and I feel that he should certainly have many more subscribers than he's got, especially the time he's been doing it. He's very humorous, and I like his kind of deadpan style, really, when he talks about things. But I really enjoy watching his videos, and I suggest you do too. I don't mean I suggest you enjoy it, I suggest you go and watch them, but yeah, enjoy it would be good as well. Next up, we have Becky from Teacup the Storyteller. She put out a video yesterday, I think, which was her September TBR, Would You Like to Buddy Read With Me? This was a particular interest to me because she follows up by talking about her plans to make a vlog following her reading of The Birds and Other Stories by Daphne du Maurier. And Daphne du Maurier is someone I realized is one of my favorite authors, especially having just finished Jamaica Inn. She's really cemented her place there. I've read Rebecca, Jamaica Inn, The Birds and Other Stories, and Don't Look Now and Other Stories. So it's probably about 12, 13 short stories plus 2 novels, and I have a lot more to read from her, but she's wonderful, Daphne du Maurier, and I think she's Becky's favourite author as well. So obviously Becky has good taste, and you should go over and check out her video. Next up, we have AJ Dunn Reads and Writes and his 20 Classics I Want to Read. This was a video AJ made that was inspired by one put out a month ago by Anne with a Book, and in it AJ discusses the 20 classics he wants to read next. Again, there's no point in me saying anything because you should go and watch that video. It's very good and inspiring, because it inspired me also to think about the classics I want to read too, and there should be a video about that coming soon. Heather the Librarian. Now, she's somebody you should go over and watch and subscribe to. She has, I believe, around 60 subscribers, which is a crime, to be honest. I've recently come to watching her. I must have subscribed a while ago, I suppose. I don't remember always when I subscribe to people, but one of her videos, the title this week caught my eye, which was H.P. Lovecraft Was a Weird Little Man. Now, H.P. Lovecraft is someone you'll hear Michael K. Vaughan discussing quite a lot, and no disrespect to Michael at all. I still remained fairly indifferent to reading H.P. Lovecraft. Heather kind of, incited my curiosity. What a great title. And then she discusses, because she's reading biography of H.P. Lovecraft, and she does make him sound, really curious, and definitely very weird. And it was a very enjoyable video. I mean, as I say, I know nothing about the man other than what I gleaned from Michael's channel. And from what I saw from Heather's video, but I'm kind of interested now to check him out. So, and she recommended that I do, because he's very popular these days as a kind of pop culture reference. So you should perhaps check out this video as well, and go over and subscribe to Heather the Librarian. We have another fairly new, very new, I suppose, booktuber here, which is Book Rising with Bart J Gilbertson. Bart is an author, novel, short story writer, and I only came across his channel yesterday because it was a community post by Michael K. Vaughan, and he's well worth checking out. As I say, he's very new to BookTube, so it's good to go and give him some support. I'm sure MJ probably has mentioned him or will mention him as part of her wonderful series on shout-outs to small booktubers. So you should check out her videos as well. But yeah, go and see Mr. Bart J Gilbertson's brand new channel and give him some support. And with the Book is someone I really enjoy watching, and I've got 2 offerings from her this week. One is Skimming Reading, where she talks about if you skim a book, are you actually reading it? Of course, I feel I could answer that very quickly and just say no, because, it's called skimming and the other thing is called reading. However, that's just the snarky, grumpy Generation Xer in me that just wants to be annoying in that respect. But you should go and see her arguments for or against whether or not skimming is reading. But the real highlight of her videos this week for me was Is Moby Dick Worth Reading? Non-spoiler book review. Now, I'm somebody who has rather successfully managed to avoid reading Moby Dick. It's always been something I feel I should read, but I've actively avoided doing it because I'm very concerned by the, I suppose, cruelty to whales, the hunting of whales, which I feel must be a big part of it. I don't really want to read graphic descriptions of whaling. It's funny, as somebody who loves history books and adventure, and if it's violence amongst people, it bothers me very slightly, and that's probably wrong. But when it involves animals, it upsets me greatly. And however, she was so convincing in her review. I thought it was really excellent, that I feel now I should read it and just try and either skim over the parts that I find distasteful. But when she was talking about it, I thought, oh yeah, perhaps Moby Dick is a book I need to read. So there we go. Okay, that's it. That's it for our my book, my week on BookTube. And thank you very much for joining me, and look forward to seeing you all again soon. Do take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Brother,